Hey everyone, what happens when you Google Europe's most boring capital? And overwhelmingly, Podgorica, Montenegro comes up. So I have a couple days, I need to leave Schengen and back, and there are two flights that were convenient to me, one to Liverpool, a bunch of Beatles stuff over there, and one to Europe's most boring capital. And of course, well, sorry Ringo, we're going to Europe's most boring capital. And I'm actually in Gdansk, Poland right now because I didn't want to take a 6 a.m. flight. So I took the train all the way up here to have an afternoon flight. And I'm just kind of curious. This actually seems like a really mysterious place and I want to see what the place is really about. So I'm on my way to the airport. I think the trip here went as hassle-free as anyone could possibly expect. So no issues whatsoever. And I got to the airport, it was 69 degrees. You know 69 is my favorite number, so that's already a good sign. And I got my local cellular data set up and everything checked in the apartment. And I am in the main square of the capital of Montenegro. And let's take a look. And I think this is going to answer some questions that I maybe had going into here. Okay, we do have a Hard Rock Cafe, but some people kind of sitting around, kids running around, some families, sort of rundown looking shops over there. Got some palm trees and a building that looks like it might be empty. So, I really like this, but I can see why people don't really necessarily want to focus here on tourism, and it's the most boring place. So, in all fairness, this is the type of place you just need to explore on foot. You need to look in every little nook and cranny to see like what's here, what's going on, why are people doing this and that. And so let's actually go on and find some stuff. I'm loving Montenegro so far. Look at this. We got water. That is a big problem in a lot of Europe, but we actually got some water we can drink here. That's pretty wonderful. I dropped off my groceries at my apartment and I'm staying back there, and I'm like right in the center of town. I didn't decide to rough it or go far away or anything, and I think it still doesn't matter. So still a wonderful neighborhood of things to explore. Like there's some urbex opportunities, I think over here. If you get bored, let's go back towards the center of town. I want to go towards the famous bridge in Podgorica that I've heard a lot about. I guess after this video, tell me which is more raw. Is it going to be Podgorica or Chisinau? You know, I love the tires. I've always said how much I like this recycling of tires, but it's a little worrisome when this wood is kind of collapsing. You never know when that'll happen. There's something going on back here. Let's carry on. Interesting observation though. We have a Jaguar over there pulling out right next to all this stuff. We have a Audi, we have a Lexus. I think, wait, that's Lexus, that's Audi. So, I don't know. We got a mixture of rubble and ruin next to fancy and expensive cars. That's a little curious. Okay, I'm convinced. So there's a nice hotel over there. You wouldn't know it because the back side of it looks a little bit sketchy. You have an Audi pulling up, and look what we have here. We have a pit. So someone kind of covered it up by this wood, but it has BMW parked right next to here, another Audi, another BMW. What is this place and why have I not been here yet? Honestly, this is amazing. Guys, this has officially become like one of my favorite places ever. Okay, we're just walking by and this person does not give a F. Look at that right there. Let me see if I can get a picture in front of it. Can we see it? We got the hub representing in Podgorica. Passing through this main square again, and I noticed something kind of cool. That bunch of little kids running around having fun. There's something like water or food for stray dogs there. I mean, that's pretty generous and nice, I think. I think I walked through what was one of the bigger nightlife areas. I'm not sure. I think we're going to go back a little later, maybe if we have some time, and check and see. And this is the Millennium Bridge, which is some symbol of Podgorica. I'm going to try to get a little better shot. The bridge is all right. I think this might be this something that happened when I was in Batam Island in Indonesia, that they had this bridge and they were, talking it up and everything, and it was just kind of a normal, fairly pretty bridge, and there just weren't so many other monuments. So I think really what's going to be more interesting is just stuff around the neighborhoods. And I mean, I guess you could probably, I'll come back here during the day, but maybe you could get like a nice shot of this. That's points to the west there, so maybe you could get like a sunset or a time lapse or something if you wanted to make a nice photograph or video of it. But I'm not like yet all that impressed, to be honest. And here's another view of the bridge, but I have something a bit better that I found. And like I said, everybody who knows my travel philosophy is I love free bathrooms. Pay to pee is the worst thing ever. And I just love free water. I've already said that. And I've read all kinds of things saying the water here is good. If the water here is great to drink from the tap, then I don't have to waste plastic with like bottled water and everything. And I'm gonna give it a little test. So since I'm here a couple more days, I can actually say if this gives me any sort of stomach problems. So I'm gonna be a guinea pig here. And it's pretty good. We'll see how I am tomorrow. One cool thing and one crazy thing. One, it's good they've got this charger for the electric car. What I don't like is that they have a charger for human. See, there's power lines. And I guess you can charge yourself up with these lines as well. I'm not getting anywhere near that. I haven't really had a proper meal today, so I wanted something local. I liked food in Albania, I liked food in Macedonia, and I figured, oh, we'll see Montenegro. So I definitely need some sort of like good protein and some carbs. So my host at booking.com suggested this place. I think it's called Podgorica. It looks actually almost empty. It's open till midnight, so let's go and get something to eat. You know, I'm not normally a foodie, but I think that's just because I'm not in the Balkans often enough. And for a type like me, say who's powerlifter type, who is kind of a picky eater, I mean, this stuff is great. We got some lamb broth soup with some lamb in it. We got some like local bread, and we got this these chicken fillets are grilled in just the right way with just kind of the right spices to be just amazing for someone like me with fairly picky tastes. And in total, it was only 11 euros and 60 cents, and it would be 10 euros if I didn't order a sparkling water. So. You know, that meal really slowed me down. That was a lot of food, not that expensive, it was really good. And I want to just walk a little by the nightlife area just to see what's there before I go and just rest for the night. I honestly don't have that much motivation to really partake in it now, partly because I'm just kind of chilled a little. But the other issue is, and I'm making a video about this as well, I just started with ADHD medication 3 weeks ago. It was a great idea. I do not regret it at all. But you're not supposed to mix that with alcohol. And I didn't bring it with me, but it means like at least now it's really probably a bad idea to drink anything, although probably in a couple days I can do it. People say Podgorica, it's boring, doesn't have enough monuments, doesn't have enough nightlife or whatever. I don't know. I think nightlife actually looked fine to me. So we were there around midnight. It was a little bit chilled out, but on the other hand, I don't know. There were some places I didn't go inside. There were still packed full of people. People were dancing. And like I said, I'm totally not in the mood for that right now, but you know, in all fairness, there are lots of beautiful women. Were the men beautiful? I have no idea. Maybe write in the comments and tell me your opinions. But it's also a city of about 170,000, so you know, there's no way, or this doesn't make any sense to compare it to a city of millions of people, but at least like for what it is, I mean, I think the nightlife, to me, honestly, I got a better vibe than like many cities of the same size. Okay, I think it's about bedtime. I'm a little tired, and I did actually just check online. I guess this is something I need to be concerned about. So the half-life of methylphenidate is pretty short, so apparently I guess I need to wait at least 24 hours. So tomorrow or Monday should actually be fine for drinking something. So I really think I want to go and try some local alcohol and see, you know, how it is. Hey guys, sorry, I've been wandering around town for a while and just haven't kind of felt like recording, just sort of getting like, so there's this block 5 over here. It has a bunch of old kind of communist style apartments, and from like late 70s, early 80s. Someone's waving, hey, it's up. Hello. Do you live here, block 5?
Yeah.
Yeah, what?
It's really good here.
You really like it?
Yeah, I was born here, but my parents are from Ukraine, but I like this country.
We're in Ukraine, Slava Ukraina. Where in Ukraine? Kyiv, Kharkiv, Odessa?
No, I was born here.
Okay, your parents are from where?
Yeah, from Ukraine.
Okay.
I'm from Kyiv.
From Kyiv, okay. Hey.
Hi.
Dobry den. Yeah.
I know.
Как будет муж на английском? Better?
I know Russian better than
yeah.
Montenegro.
Montenegro.
So he's Russian. But
But I'm from Montenegro.
Yes, I
I'm
know.
here.
Собака, спасибо, до свидания.
So if I would recommend you to visit
You're from America.
Yeah, I'm from Detroit. Yeah, good to meet you. What's your names?
my name is Tikhon. I really want to live in the US.
Yeah. Have you been to the US?
No, but I have a lot of dreams when I was sleeping.
Yeah.
I live in Poland now. I left the US. Where would you go in the US?
But I was in Poland. It's really good.
Oh, cool. I don't want to keep. Their parents are. Good meeting you guys. All right, bye. See ya. Bye. Good day. Okay, you too. Okay. Oh yeah, Okay. Anyways, according to the internet, this was constructed on the basis of a town planning project of Vukota Tupa Vukotic. I'm not sure about the pronunciation. And the solution of Mileta Bojovic. And so it's already quite promising. I guess these are 16 floors. And just look at how much that hangs over there. Imagine the sort of communist utopia that this place represented someday. And I've actually already kind of noticed a couple little differences here. I mean, it wasn't just the little kids that stopped me, but I think I'm kind of overhearing some more Ukrainian accents. I see a couple more people walking by that are a little bit more fair and not quite as dark as the other people I see here. So, I mean, maybe are there just a bunch more Ukrainians in this area? I'm not really sure. Could be some refugees that have been resettled. And this does look, I don't know, this doesn't look like entirely like what you would see, say, in like, Ukraine or something. I mean, there is kind of this style, but somehow, maybe the difference is that the park actually is new. So, this could be, I mean, okay, it's like disappointing to me in some ways for a good reason that like some of the kind of crazy like babushka art and things like this that you can find in some of these neighborhoods in Ukraine and other places might not be here because they have new stuff. But this looks really cool in back. I love walking with this in back. Let's give like a thumbs up to the architecture. Yeah, there is a really noticeable difference here. You can compare this to like the architecture in Ukraine or say when I was in Chisinau recently. That's maybe it's just due to the city building codes, but you don't see like as many of the extra things just hanging off. Like it's more this was planned to come off. And say when you're in Ukraine, you see these people that are building like the extra balconies on the side and everything. So that's part of the difference of the vibe here, I think. My understanding generally is these little mini communist utopias, these mini communities, were supposed to be designed with like everything you ever need in the area. So there are some actual real positives to this. So you got all the playgrounds and stuff for the kids. You got this is I guess some sort of rundown soccer goalpost or something. I mean it's definitely not being maintained, but I assume that that's what that was used for. I initially thought this was the thing where they would hang clothes from or something like that. But it is kind of cool in some ways because like you'll see sometimes like little shops in these places and everything. And it's very different from, say where I grew up where there was like a lot of houses and you had to drive everywhere. And so I think this is where someone who's saying that a city like this is boring is approaching it in the wrong sort of way. So is there some interesting monuments to take your picture in front of and post on Instagram and wait for the other line of people to stop taking selfies in front of it? Well, not really. But in all fairness, it's kind of boring. Like, I think it's just sort of this like routine you supposedly have to do as a traveler. And I don't know, I'd rather come back here. Like, this is more raw, this is more real. I mean, I feel way better checking this place out than I would, just snapping pictures of monuments. So far, there's one really, really big thing I got to give like mega negative marks to Podgorica on, and that's toilets. So I love the free water everywhere, as everyone knows, big plus on my end. But I've only found one, bathroom I can just sort of walk into. I don't even know if it's really quite a public bathroom, but I found this gas station right here, and this is just Mark's toilet. Maybe it's connected to that, and I was able to just walk in, but like, I don't know how people survive here, because I know when I was in Chisinau in Moldova, I think I found like 4 or 5 public bathrooms or something ridiculous like that. And on my second day, this is only the first one I found. So yeah, do people here have like bladders of steel? Because you don't see people just peeing everywhere. And the place doesn't smell like pee, unlike another famous European capital that's romanticized. So I don't really know how it works. Someone please tell me. Now that I'm feeling better, I think I can pay attention to a few more details. And, I don't know, I always kind of feel good with these trees around, but it's probably a really, really basic question. What is this thing right here? Like, what is that growing there? For a minute, I was thinking it was like bananas or something. I didn't think it was a banana tree, but there's some sort of flowering, something or other. What is that? They say that lightning never strikes twice in the same place. But look what I found over here. Toilet number 2 of my stay in Podgorica. And this is also like right on block 5. How can this be? Not only is this a really wonderful Orthodox church right across from the Soviet-style hellscape over there, we have NASA medicine over here, something about the space program. This is one of the 2 places on Atlas Obscura in Podgorica, and I read about it beforehand that supposedly there's some art up there that depicts Tito, Engels, and Marx going to hell, which, any church that actually does that, fine by me. And I was asking the people there, and no one seemed to really know about it, but they're able to find some confirmation in Serbian, labeling which was which. So I think it's probably true, but I'm not sure. Anyways, there's this now. This looks fun. Of course, Engels and Marx were, the co-authors of the Communist Manifesto, and I've been running into Engels stuff everywhere I've been going lately. And Tito was the communist dictator of Yugoslavia, and apparently, as part of his cult of personality, every one of the parts of Yugoslavia had to be named after him. So actually, Podgorica was Titograd, like Tito City. Which I think was pretty funny. I see bumper cars over there, and I love bumper cars. I'm going to try that. At least spinning stuff doesn't work with me anymore. So I think this is run in a bit of a different way. So it costs you €1.50 to go on. I got my ticket, and there's no like gate or anything. People just kind of like go on and come off. So I gotta kind of rush and take it while I get a chance. I didn't succeed. This is kind of difficult to even get on the ride. Getting out. I have no idea how this is actually working. That's attempt number 2. People just staying in there or something, I don't know. Well, this is a wild Montenegro bumper car ride. I can't even get on. There's some sort of system. People are shifting around and forming alliances, and it's some bulk. I don't know what's going on. I'm gonna look around a little bit more and then try it again. This bumper car problem is turning out to be quite complicated, actually, so I'm not getting through. And I don't want the bumper cars to defeat me. So it seems actually to be really complicated because there seem to be these alliances. Like there'll be some people and you go to that bumper car, but then they won't let me in, but then there's some friends of theirs and they let them on. And I think the friends are bringing more tokens or people switch around. And it's kind of complicated. I made some calls and I got a suggestion to try bribing people to get in on their alliance. Is the bumper car mafia thinning out? Still a lot of people here. I think it might be a little less than before. We'll give it a try. People are ready to jump on and walk on. I'm too competitive. It seems I'm not giving up on this. It's not about the €1.50, but it seems that, people are there, they have multiple tokens, and then they don't get off if they have more tokens. There's some sort of rule on that, I guess. And I'm pretty sure, they're having friends hand them things. So I'm gonna try to buy one more token and see if I can bribe someone to let me on in exchange for an extra token. And I noticed there's been one guy who's been here for I think like more than an hour and he hasn't even gotten up. So I think people are spending like their whole salaries on this. I don't know if it's payday. Maybe the bumper car place actually makes more money this way. Someone turned down my bribe, but I was able to get on by luck, so now I have 2 tokens. Let's get them and this is worth finally getting on this after trying to bribe my way on. Ooh. Oh my God, well that finally happened at least. And I think that was the roughest bumper car rides I've been on. I got all banged around and whiplashed, and I guess the seatbelt was a little weird. I'm probably gonna have some marks here later, maybe not, but I was talking to a guy before I got on and he was saying something that like, this is new, there's a whole bunch of people here, come back tomorrow. Hey, what's up? Show me. Yeah, you got it? Yeah. So where did I leave off? Oh yeah, so he was saying it's like new and there's like a whole bunch of people that are coming. They probably like know each other, they're related to each other, just letting each other on. But I don't really want to come back tomorrow because I have other stuff I want to do. So it's still quite lively on a Sunday evening, and I got back to my room, figured I'd go out a little bit more, explore some more, and I just kind of passed out for a bit. Why is that? I checked out here and have like around 48, just under 48,000 steps. That might be a record even, like more than 20 miles walked. And yeah, I'm just kind of chilling out right now. We'll go back and explore some more stuff tomorrow, I think. Well, it's my last full day in Podgorica, and I got to do the normal magnet thing, and it's actually turning out to be really, really hard. So I went to the tourist info center, and it's just like a tiny little room with like someone sitting at the desk. There's not much there. Got a map. They said to go here, and I could find some like Montenegro magnets or things from some other cities. Maybe that'll be fine for cat sitters. I want a Podgorica magnet though. Look how hilarious they are. Let's Podgorica. I mean, I'm sure the marketing team made a lot of money off that. That's a good idea. Actually, I kind of like that. That's my sort of joke. I'm not really that lucky on the magnet thing, but I just happened to be, going through here, and there's this little market with some really old stuff, and these are all pieces of history with, back in the Yugoslavia days. Got some knives just to prepare for the journey up ahead. And there's some pins here. I'm told that like this one, I'm gonna get this. This is to show your loyalty and love for Tito. And I guess a signature is down there as well. Thank you, and then, okay. All right, thank you. We have the man himself. We have this. It's hard to get this to focus exactly. And apparently this is his signature. Oh, no, this is Yugoslavia right here. And we have his, I guess, a signature, Tito. And we're heading back towards this Millennium Bridge. That's, you can kind of see it peeking through here, but I think the view is actually going to be much better during the day. Although, just as much as I'm saying the parks can be pretty, we do have a very sad looking Kuvani kukurus. I guess that's corn on the cob. I think part of the problem with walking around here at night, which I often do because I'm extremely nocturnal, is that it's not like Japan where the city lights themselves are fascinating, but you see the nature that's not lit up. And a lot of that's actually really pretty. And for this video, for the purpose of this video, I'm staying in Podgorica, but if you leave Podgorica or go to some other surrounding towns, I mean, it can get shockingly beautiful. Okay, everyone, this is really like a lot nicer. So the modern bridge is up there, lights up at night. People seem to be kind of interested in it. I don't know, I like this more. You got the river. It's like the Moracha, assuming my pronunciation is right. Does that look like it's stable? Should have just brought the GoPro, because that could have at least taken the fall in case this doesn't go well. Oh, yeah, it's kind of comfortable. This actually works pretty well. Take a selfie in front of the bridge. I'm on my way to the Mall of Montenegro right now, and I heard that this is a raw, like market-like place, kind of post-communist type of market area. So here we go, Mall of Montenegro. Is this going to live up to the hype? I mean, honestly, that looks like it probably doesn't right there, but this thing here that just says mall, yeah, it looks pretty good. Yeah, you're feeding them.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cute. Where do you get dog food?
You get it like, you just like pass this door here and like just go straight, like 20 meters, you have a pet store.
Oh, great. Okay, I'm going to get some. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, well, that answers the question. I wonder if this little dog over here is hungry. We'll feed it. We need to find the pet store, but it looks like we found the market, and I totally failed at this. So I beat the bumper car mafia, but I should have known this. I'm being really stupid for not figuring this out. Looks like it closes like 4 p.m. Yeah, look at that. This looks great. I mean, this is exactly the sort of thing I wanted to see. I bet there's some amazing stuff there. There's a kitty cat over there too. Hey, do you want some food? Do you want some food? Are you hungry? Maybe another dog will get it. Are you hungry? Oh, yeah, I am not going to get any closer. This happened in Albania with some cats. They were really skittish. Ah, we have a toilet. That is toilet number 3 of my stay here. Okay, I think it's, I guess roba is probably like clothing, like robes. Oh, this is kind of what I expected, but I'm not really seeing anything like too crazy, to be honest. But one of the things that's notable is it like really smells like smoke here. And so I guess you probably have to make sure to wash the clothes you get, not only because, well, it's going to be smoky, but who knows what sort of chemicals are on them as well. And I think this is Andrew Tate. He's hiding out in the Mall of Montenegro. What's going on here? And yeah, you see down here, this is where the stuff with the food was, and it's I think it'd be kind of cool view from up here if all that stuff was going on. Here's the public toilet. This is a little funny. Why are all the urinals wearing these hoods? I guess these are working, but there's like a crack in it. I Wouldn't be safe to sit down on that. My problems have been solved in the Mall of Montenegro. Here's where you actually get the souvenirs, and they even have a Podgorica magnet, so I'm really happy about that, and some postcards. Well, the woman there claims that that's the only gift shop in Podgorica, so that's kind of funny to know. I've seen some interesting churches before. The Lutheran Rock Church in Helsinki, Finland was pretty interesting. And this is the Brutalist Church of the Sacred Heart of Jesus in Podgorica. And this was built in 1969. The other Catholic church was destroyed in World War II, well before this. And, you know, haha, 69, that number keeps popping up on this trip, you know, my favorite number. And I've never seen really anything like this before. This is kind of interesting. Like, it doesn't really look particularly inviting. Apparently there's a mass going on right now, so it's at least probably open. There's a big ass dog there. I guess he looks pretty friendly. I wish I still had some of that dog food left just in case. Yeah, he's a friendly little guy, so we got lucky. This is wild. Like, my God, this is a brutalist Catholic church. Let's see what we find. Don Bosco Center. I don't know what that is. That sounds like a mafia thing. Probably not. I mean, is there oh, I guess there was the mafia in the bumper cars. I don't know about mafia in Montenegro. But I guess this services a lot of the Albanian population because, you know, Albania is majority Muslim, but there's still a lot of Catholics there, and I'm sure there's tons of immigrants in Podgorica. I don't know the numbers. When I was in Olsztyn, there was you know, tons and tons of Albanians. And I guess we go around here for the entrance, maybe? I don't know. Yeah, look at this. Look at this monstrosity. Oh my God, this is I know this completely makes no sense. Is this like a communist utopia of a Catholic church? Like, what's going on here? This is... So, communists don't like Catholicism. I know this. This looks very communist utopia-like and brutalist. What? Wait, okay, yeah. I'm confused, but it's amazing whatever it means. It's not just the style of brutalism. This place itself is brutal. I mean, we have this mural here, and I guess I'm enough of an animal lover that I just think, like, what the poor snake. I mean, I know this represents probably the devil in the Bible and all that sort of stuff. And there's something a little... I saw, just look at this. This is Don Bosco Center. It's this is creepy. I don't know. There's something about this. So just, I don't even need to comment. Let's look at this for a little while. There's about 2,000 believers going to the church, and about 80% of them are Albanian, from 580 families, and it goes over a large area. So I guess that's still a bit of a minority in this area, so they all have to come to this church then. I don't know, guys, which is more heavy metal, this church or the Helsinki Rock Church? My God, this is... I don't know if I love it or hate it. I really want to see what's inside. Look at this. Before I forget, there's a lot of information. I managed to talk to the priest here, and so they were very, you know, nice and helpful here. They found me someone who spoke English, and I guess, you know, it is mostly Albanian. The mass today was in Albanian. He was saying it's like 85%, and so apparently the communist regime wasn't quite as hard on this as, like, say, in Albania, because I remember being in Albania a few years ago and talking to how, you know, brutal that communist regime was to, you know, some people over there. So I was kind of expecting something here, and it wasn't nearly as bad. So they were actually able to get some permits to build the church, and apparently I guess this style is just what was approved. So why brutalism? Apparently just a matter of what the city said was okay. So this Don Bosco person, he was apparently the founder of the Salesians, and that's, I guess, the order that started this church. And he said actually that there were more people attending, say back in 1973 than there were now, that you could still actually go to church if you weren't like a teacher or one of the people in the Communist Party. And I find that really fascinating. I was completely not expecting that. Oh yeah, she is missing a front left paw.
Yes, but she's not bothered by it.
What's her name?
She's living a happy life. I'm not sure. I don't know.
Well, I'm not going to be too pushy, but I have two cats at home, so...
not a wild cat.
Yeah, she seems
She's
pretty calm.
domesticated.
Very domesticated. Do you want to try it?
And she's friends with
Oh.
the dog. They grew up together.
Oh, that's cute.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, the dog seems pretty relaxed when I walk by.
Yes.
Meow. Yeah, what happened to your paw?
We don't know. They found her as a kitten, and she was like that.
The church is back there, and I wanted to point out one of the most interesting things I found in Montenegro that stands out to me the most, and that's like the ridiculous number of casinos, and there's tons in the center, but I found out in this area actually there's like way more. Okay, for starters, that's sports betting there. There's at least one more gambling place there, and then we have this flashy Admiral slot. I think the other one was called Admiral also, I'm not sure. Admiral Bet, so I think this is a different one. This is sports betting. I think that's just like slot machines. We keep going, and it looks like there's, oh yeah, there's another one. There's SB Bet over there, and Max Bet over here, and what's this one called over here? This is Casino Zlotnik, maybe that means like gold or something like that. I mean, that's 7 so far. Probably there's some, oh yeah, there's another over here. There's Zlatnik Terminal Club, so that's 8. Who won to bets that there's some I just didn't even notice and didn't count? Let's just go a little bit further. Okay, so that's just where we finished with a count of 8. Well, that's not gambling, that's some sort of a Garfield thing. That's pretty cool. I doubt they have the copyright, but whatever. But over there, I'm counting Cesar, Admiral Bet, and some Premier Soccer betting, and maybe some more stuff behind the trees I can't see. So I think the point is clear. That's 11 and just a little stretch in the whole city. It kind of feels like kind of like a casino in some way. Maybe I'm not remembering my English correctly, but shouldn't that be Super Idea instead of Idea Super? I need to rush on my way to the airport to get back in time. I was able to go to the main post office and mail some stuff. They do have a couple magnets, but also nothing that's specifically Podgorica. I did find something very, very crude and maybe borderline offensive, so I had to buy it. I'm not sure who I'm giving it to or if I'm going to keep it myself. Is it, the most boring European capital? And I think this is like a kind of the wrong question, to be honest. Is it the least touristic European capital? Probably it is. So it doesn't have like the monuments and all this sort of stuff. A lot of it was destroyed in the war. Things are kind of new and rebuilt in a certain way. But is it actually boring? It's not. It's actually really interesting to look around at all the different stuff, and it's just kind of a certain vibe there. I want to just remark though about souvenirs and things I had such a hard time finding in Podgorica. And this is not a very touristic city in Poland, but still easy to find these kind of like anywhere you look. Got some little kids on a little tour here. So this is a totally different vibe than the main square in Podgorica. But would I return to Podgorica, for example? And I don't know if I will, but I would also be happy to do so. If there's some reason for me to go and look around again, I mean, definitely. I thought it was nice. I thought it was definitely interesting. So I think as long as you're not going with the expectation that it's, you're going to see some monuments, or it's going to feel like a capital of an empire like Paris or Rome or Vienna, well, you actually got the advantage that unlike Paris, Podgorica doesn't smell like pee. If you're like me, definitely Podgorica is worth visiting. Definitely go there. Don't believe the naysayers. It is kind of a cool place. And my next trip is to Kyiv, Ukraine and Lviv, Ukraine. I'm getting ready for this. It's going to be a big deal. So stick around on my channel. I'll probably post a couple things before I actually post those videos. But stick around, like, comment, subscribe, and I promise plenty more interesting places to see.